So there you go. That was playing around with the Mooer Ocean Machine, which is a looper that has 2 delays and a reverb. And while you're looping, you can go ahead and utilize those effects however you want, even changing them, which is really neat. Now, I didn't really do any of that in there. The only thing I was doing was controlling the mix. For this setup, I have a volume pedal that allows me to throttle the volume going into the unit. And then I've got a expression pedal which controls the amount of effect. So if I have it all the way back or toe up position, I get no effect, or just a real minimal amount of reverb and delay. And looper. The looper stays consistent with that pedal. That expression pedal does not affect the volume on the looper. When I toe down, it gives me the maximum amount. Now I have modified this expression pedal with a switch, so when I have it toe down, it doesn't give me 100% because I feel that's too much. It gives me about 60%. If I want 100, I disable the mod switch. So it's kind of a neat thing that I added. I'm also using the Mooer air switch, which was another kind of pricey remote switch for it. But you technically don't really need that. Though it's really nice to have if you're going to use the tap tempo feature, which I am going to use that. Now, how I plan to implement this thing is in a live rig. I play in the duo with my wife playing bass, and we use a drum machine or a MP3 player with pre-programmed drum loops. So it'll be interesting to see how I implement this. I could eliminate the reverbs and delays that exist in my current setup, which is just a multi-effector. I could just shut those off in those patches and then come up with new reverbs and delays. I probably won't do that for all the patches, just some of them. And then there will be some pieces that I'll write specifically around the looper, which will kind of feature the Ocean Machine. So it's yet to be seen how I work this into my rig. Hopefully I can figure out how to tastefully apply a looper without it feeling too repetitive, which I think that's the pitfall. They're really fun to play with. It's like riding a moped, but you're just embarrassed if your friends see you doing it. Now in this setup, what I have, I've just got a little tuner, mono price tuner. I've got the AMZ MOSFET boost. I've got an overdrive, a tremolo, and then another distortion. This is set, it's a modeler, it's got 7 different distortions, and I have it set on the metal zone or the MT2. Now the reason for the AMZ MOSFET boost, it's a volume booster. It, as you can see here, it makes it a little louder. So on my initial main rhythm track, I had it on. And that's so when I added a loop over that, and then I started kind of soloing on it, I would still have that main first track nice and loud. And like one of the things with the, let me clear this, one of the things with the Ocean Machine that it does is it lets you record a piece and play that backwards or play it in half speed. And I really thought that was cool, but when you engage the half speed, the volume drops quite a bit. So I thought, well, I could always put a booster in there, and then when I record that first part that's going to be dropped down, I would use the boost to make it louder in the first place. So I'll show you what I mean. one of the accessories that I'm going to want to be getting is a stereo volume pedal for the master output. So if I do want to do live looping and just kind of, you know, throw down a bass and then get a rhythm going and use that as a piece, instead of like this double click and hold and all this like sloppy for the ending, I would be able to just grab that volume. It doesn't look like they have a setting for that on the where you assign the expression pedal. So we'll see. We'll see how I and you know, it's a volume pedal. It's not that big of a deal. I've made my way through without really having a nice stereo volume pedal. I know they have those Ernie Ball ones you can get for $50, so that's what I'm hoping to get, is one of those nice, the big ones. You know, they look like they don't really break down. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me, and look forward to more with the Mooer Ocean Machine. It's not Mooer, it's Mooer. Mooer Ocean Machine. So thanks.